day is going to be about. Brain dumping, strategizing, organizing, all my tasks, all my goals, all my dreams for the summer, including plenty of time to rest. We're just gonna take the chaos in my head and try to organize it a little bit. I'm loving working on Across the Pond right now. I think because I just so desperately want to be in London right now, and I can't be in London right now. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It's great to have you all here. Welcome to a bit of a planning video. We might do some writing later today as well. It's Sunday and I have needed to relax this weekend. I think I've been fairly successful at that. Yesterday was really lovely. Today we're kind of keeping that going. I have not woken up at 5 a.m. yesterday or today. I've let myself sleep in until about 6 both mornings. I didn't go hiking. I just walked on my walking pad here in the apartment both mornings. Or yesterday it wasn't until like 1 in the afternoon. Today I got up at 6 and just immediately kind of got ready and got on the walking pad. So workout is done for the day and now I can just kind of relax. I have a call with a friend in about an hour, just as like a social catch-up chat and talk about writing and stuff. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And I am going to try to do some planning beforehand. I need to plan. I need to be setting up my brain dump journal for June, and I need to set up my planner for mostly for the week. I'm not really doing that much monthly planning in this planner. So this is my planner from Anthropology. It's by Fringe Studio. I feel like I just bought this, but like that's how much I've used. This is how much is left. It's an 18-month planner. So I started using it last August. It's wild. So I've been using this primarily for weekly planning as a way of managing my weekly tasks. So basically I want to do some planning and goal setting for the summer, and then I want to break that down and decide what of that list I want to do in June. And then I want to plan next week with those June goals in mind. So it's June 8th. We're already 1 week in. You're going to be watching this on like the 11th, I think. 9th, 10th, 11th. Yeah. So yeah, we're already into June and I am starting to feel a bit overwhelmed, which I don't like. I don't like feeling that way. I'm struggling with feeling like I have the whole summer, which is true. I still have the majority of the summer stretching out in front of me, but then I get overwhelmed by all the things I wanted to do this summer, and then I get struck by the feeling of it's already 1 week into June. I've been on summer break for pretty much a full month now. I think I posted my grades on the 9th, Friday, May 9th. So Sunday, June 8th, it's been about a month. And I feel like I haven't really done that much. Obviously, I'm on track with Independent Hearts, the next book in my small town romance series. So I'm good there. Like that is kind of where I want it to be for how I've kind of reset all my deadlines for the summer. So that's going well. That's all fine. But I'm not doing anything else. I'm not really making progress on any of the other summer projects that I had planned. And really it's just, I have the full month of June and the full month of July. I had most of May and I'll have part of August. I will lose, I don't know if that's really the right way to phrase it. I will have to spend about a week in July working on teaching stuff. So I'll switch back into teaching mode for about a week, where it won't be full-time, but it will be a few hours a day, probably, alongside a few hours a day of work stuff, of writing and book projects. So I feel like, and I kind of mentioned this in the last vlog, I think I've left it in that edit. I don't think I've edited this out, but I feel like I'm having this really bad problem of all or nothing mentality, where either I spend the whole day relaxing and doing nothing, or I spend the whole day working, and I really need to break that. I want to be spending 3 to 4 hours a day on book stuff. The rest of the day can be spent relaxing, reading, watching YouTube, binging a Netflix series, whatever, going for my hikes, going for walks, going over to the house and hanging out with my parents. Like, there's plenty of time in the day to get everything done, but I haven't written that much down as far as like realistically what do I want to accomplish this summer, and then starting to break that down into smaller steps and tasks that can then become weekly tasks and goals. So it's more like I want to rearrange the bookshelves. That's going to be a project for July, so we'll talk about that next month. But I want to redo my website. There's a lot of work I want to do on my website. I need to like break that down into what pages need to be edited, what pages need to be created, things like that. And then assigning myself in 1 week, like redo the about page or redo this or that page or create and add this new page, so that once or twice a week I'm sitting down and I'm doing a little bit of work on my website. I have all this stuff in my head and I haven't really written it down, so that's what I need to do. So I'm going to start with setting up my brain dump journal for June, and then I will create a page of like just, actually I might have already created a page. I need to see if I've created a page for like summer plans. Doesn't look like I see one in the beginning, but I might have done it in May. Actually, no, I don't think I have. So I need to create like a summer wish list and then break that down, like pull out things that I think I can do. First, I need to create a summer wish list of things to do. Then I need to narrow that down to what is actually realistic and probably identify like 3 main goals for the summer aside from book stuff. So like rearranging the bookshelves, redoing my website, and probably one other thing, and that's it. And then I can decide from that list how to break it down and what I want to focus on this month in June. So I'm going to start with the general just summer wish list. I'm probably just going to let myself brain dump like everything I think I could possibly want to do this summer. I'm just going to write it down, and then I will go through and kind of underline or highlight or star the most realistic things. And I'm going to include book stuff and then start like really organizing what can actually be accomplished in the next couple of months. Because when you factor in what's left of June, all of July, the time I'll have off at the beginning of August, but then minus about a week in July to work on teaching stuff, I probably have about 2 full months in play that I can use. And I need to be very strategic with that time. And so that's what today is going to be about. Just kind of strategizing, brain dumping, strategizing, organizing all my tasks, all my goals, all my dreams for the summer, including plenty of time to rest, and then doing some weekly planning so that starting tomorrow, I don't look at my day and just kind of panic and then decide to do nothing. I will have things that I know to do. So I've got a study with me video with some lo-fi music pulled up on my computer. So I'm gonna have that playing in the background while I do some of this. It's just a cozy day today. I've got air dry hair today. It's still in the process of drying. I've put on minimal makeup. I've just done my skincare. My skin feels amazing, so I didn't want to slap makeup on top of that. I'm just in a cozy sweater with the air conditioning blaring. And yeah, we're just gonna take the chaos in my head and try to organize it a little bit. Okay, I have the summer wish list sorted out. So I now need to kind of start breaking this up and figuring out what of this I want to do in June, or what elements of these things. So the main goals for the summer are reorganizing the bookcases, these 4 behind me, and then this one right here. I want to take all the books off both this wall and that little bookcase, dust everything, sort through everything, donate a lot of the books, either donate them to Goodwill, or the ones that I think might have some resale value, I'll take down to Changing Hands or Half Price Books and try to sell them at one of those places, and then rearrange everything back onto the bookshelves. That I think is going to be either late June or most likely a July project. I've got a secret project that I will tell you all about if it works out, but I'm just not ready to talk about it right now. So, but it's something that I need to be doing a little bit every week, basically, and it breaks down really easily into small kind of daily and weekly tasks. So I just need to start doing that. And then redesigning my website. That's the other really big thing that I want to do this summer. That also breaks down really easily into little things like the bookshelves. I really just need to take up to a week. I'm hoping it won't take a full week, but I want to block out a week where that's the main focus. But redesigning the website, that breaks down really easily into smaller steps. So I'm going to create in the notebook, I think I've already done this with the web, with both of these, with both my secret project and redesigning the website. Both of those projects have their own page here in the notebook, so I need to just keep adding like a detailed list of all the things I want to do. I've made a general list, but each of these things can break down even further into smaller steps and tasks. I do have a miscellaneous section. I need to go get my driver's license. I don't need a new one, as far as my old one doesn't expire until like 2046, but Arizona now has the True ID. I think every state now has a True ID, which you need those if you're going to fly domestically. I'm not planning on doing that, but I still feel like I should have that just so that I don't have to then use my passport if I want to fly domestically. It just feels like it's just something I should have, but I've been putting it off because it's not been a huge priority, but I need to just get that done sometime this summer. I'd like to book in with a dermatologist. I'm not concerned, but I do have some moles and spots that I just feel like we need to establish a baseline, and I need to be starting to keep an eye on these things as I'm getting older, because skin cancer is definitely a worry living here in the desert. I need to make an eye appointment. Oh my gosh, my vision is getting so bad. I really think I need bifocals. I don't want bifocals. I don't feel old enough for bifocals, but I think I need bifocals. Like, I am constantly either doing this or doing this. Like, there's no in between. I can't just have my phone at a reasonable distance from my face and be able to see with my glasses. I was joking a while back about how I thought I needed bifocals, and my dad just said, no, you just need longer arms. But like, my vision is so bad that if something is too far away from me, then I can't see it because it's too far away from me. So I think I just need to finally cave and just admit that I probably need bifocals. Which is going to be expensive, because then either I get glasses where you can see the lenses, or I'm not going to want to do that. I'm going to want to get progressives, and progressives are really expensive. It's going to be expensive. So I've been putting it off, but I don't think I can put it off any longer. And I do think once the fall semester starts and I'm back grading and teaching, and I'm going to want to be able to see, because it is getting bad. And then the last miscellaneous project is I really want to clean my bedroom. My bedroom is a disaster. It's one reason why I don't really vlog in there, because there's really no good angle. It's just a mess. I've got stuff piled everywhere. I need to downsize and declutter the stuff. I need to completely clean out under my bed because I know I can maximize the under the bed storage much more than I currently do. And I've been toying with the idea of sewing again. I still have my sewing machines and a lot of equipment and material and supplies and stuff, but I have nowhere to set up a table. And I do have a table I can use. I just have nowhere to set it up. But if I clean up in my bedroom, and if some of the stuff that's piled in front of the window can be either gotten rid of, like donated, given away, or reorganized properly and stored under the bed, there is room there to put a table, and then my sewing machines could just live there. It still wouldn't be nice. Like, I need a 2-bedroom apartment. I need a dining room, a bedroom, and then a second bedroom that can be my sewing room / office. That's not my reality, so I'm just squeezing stuff in where I can fit it. My office is in the dining room, and I'd love to be able to create a little sewing corner in my bedroom. It needs to be reorganized. So I feel like creating a sewing space would probably be more of an autumn project, but if I can at least clean out that space during the summer, so that's probably going to be like an August thing. Once everything else is done, if there's still time left in the summer, I'll tackle my bedroom. Then for summer book goals, I've broken that down into Independent Hearts 4, Across the Pond 5, Project Darkness, and Patreon Shorts. So Patreon Shorts, I want to be posting 1 story a week on Patreon throughout the summer. So that'll become a weekly task for me. And I've been kind of doing that. This past week I didn't, because it was just a bit of a week, but I have been managed. Like, they don't take me that long to write. So I also want to be creating a bank of at least 6 stories before the semester starts, so that if there's a week once the semester gets going where I just can't get a story done, I have a backup story that I can use. And it's not just stories. I want to start doing like some of my research, like things that have inspired some of the books, and just taking you deeper into the world of the books. So those will count as like a longer form content that I will put up on Patreon for paid members. Project Darkness, this is going to become a series throughout the summer and beyond. I'm going to start doing dedicated Project Darkness vlogs where the whole topic of that vlog will be working on Project Darkness. Starting with, we need to re-outline book 1. I think I'm ready for that. I've done a lot of world building. I've done a lot of outlining for the whole series. I think it's time to start really focusing on book 1 again and taking my 0 draft, re-engineering my outline, or like reverse engineering my outline, essentially expanding it, changing it, because certain scenes are going to go away, other new scenes are going to be written, stuff is going to be rewritten. It's just a lot. So I need to replot the whole of book 1 based on the world building and the ideas that I've done. And then I want to keep world building. So I want to start re-outlining book 1, but then also continue outlining the whole series, because I know as I re-outline and start working on book 1 again, that's going to start giving me more ideas for the rest of the series. So I want to keep working on those things as well. Across the Pond 5, I think I want to go back and just tweak the outline a little bit. I feel like I need to like zoom back out, look at that book, kind of the whole book on one screen, like looking at corkboard mode and Scrivener and looking at all of my little index cards and just really kind of strengthening the plot of that one, because I am starting to get more ideas now that I'm starting to write it. But then I also would like to try to get to 50K by the end of the summer. That's ambitious. I probably need to lower that number, to be honest. But I am up to 31,000, so I'm going to leave it at 50K. I feel like 50K is going to be my stretch goal, but we'll say at least 40K. I feel like I can get definitely another 10K between now and August, but I think 50K is doable, and then the book will be half done at the start of the fall semester, which would be awesome. Independent Hearts 4. that is the big one. That is going to be the challenge. By the end of the summer, by the start of the fall semester, so by August 21st, I want to finish the developmental edits. I want to copy edit, I want to format, I want to proofread, I want to finish the cover, I want to get all my metadata, so keywords, categories, book title, book description, all of that stuff, all that done, and upload it. I want to have everything done and uploaded by August 21st at the absolute latest. August 1st is honestly my deadline. I'm going to write that down. Aug1 under or next to upload. I would like to upload it by August 1st so that we're launching it by like the 20th. I just want that book done and out before the fall semester starts, so that the fall semester, then the main project, the main thing I'm working towards is finishing the first draft of Across the Pond 5. So Independent Hearts 4 is going to be the main goal for the entire summer, but I've got other stuff to work on in between and around, and I do think that with everything I want to do, my secret project, redesigning the website, the various different book projects, I'm not going to be working on all of these things every single day, but in 4 hours in a day, I can definitely put 1 solid hour to Independent Hearts each day, which as we're moving into copy editing and formatting and all of that, 1 hour is going to be my maximum. So I think an hour a day on Independent Hearts 4, but then if I'm spending about 4 hours a day working on stuff, then that leaves me 3 hours to work on Secret Project, redesigning the website, Across the Pond 5, Project Darkness, Patreon shorts, and some of these things like Secret Project and redesigning the website, there will be things that I can do with those in like 15 minutes in a day. So yeah, that's where we're at. I've got like all the big goals written down. So now I want to go to the separate pages that I've created for Secret Project, and I've got a page for Patreon planning, I've got a page for redesigning my website in here. So I want to start like adding in more detailed things of what I want to work on, then set some June goals, like specific goals for June. But first, I am going to be jumping on a call soon with my friend, so I want to go make some coffee before that, and then while I'm waiting for her to be ready, I'll do some more of the planning stuff and then take a break from it and have a nice long chat with her, and then get back to this for just a little bit. I think I've got maybe 1 hour worth of planning left to do today, and then we can move on to fun stuff like writing and reading. Okay, I think I'm done planning for the day. So I've had a lovely call with my friend. We talked for over 2 hours, I believe, which is not surprising for us. And then I got back to doing some planning. So I have a realistic task list for tomorrow. I think I've got enough for tomorrow. I don't think I can manage more than what I've put down. The like Thursday and Friday, I don't have any tasks written down there. Wednesday is a little bit like half planned. I need to see how tomorrow goes. I need to figure out what I'm filming, what I need to vlog, what days I'm vlogging, what I want to do in those vlogs. One of my tasks tomorrow is to do some YouTube planning tomorrow. So as I'm doing that, that will help figure out the rest of the week. That's all done. Now I think I'm going to, it's 2:30, so I'm not doing bad on time. I kind of wanted to write a little bit because Across the Pond 5 is, I think I only have a little bit left to chapter 3. I was almost done with chapter 3. So I wouldn't mind finishing chapter 3 and maybe starting chapter 4. I need to get tomorrow's vlog finished editing, or edited. So it needs the music, and then I need timestamps and thumbnail for that. And then I can get that starting to upload while I maybe do some writing. And I would really, really, really like to be able to leave my desk by like 4 o'clock. So that doesn't give me a whole lot of time. I think vlog editing is probably going to take me another 30 to 40 minutes, and then I could write for like 30-ish minutes. So I'll just do a like short writing session today, and then I want to relax. I have been so tired lately. Shock surprise, I know. I can't remember if I said this earlier in this vlog, but like I did not wake up at 5 a.m. the last 2 mornings. I really want to get back to 5 a.m. because I do like that, and my body does prefer to be on a stricter schedule. It is much more difficult for me to wake up at 5 a.m. when I'm going to bed at different times and waking up at different times. Like, I'd rather just be, I go to sleep at 9, I wake up at 5 every morning or every day. Like, that just makes it a lot easier to stick to that schedule. So I do want to get back to that, but after almost having a fibro flare last week and how bad that felt, I need to be more careful. I think I'm starting, I really want to go for at least a couple more hikes, but it is getting really warm. And so if I'm doing my walking pad treadmill thing here at home, then I don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. because I don't have to be out to work out outdoors before it gets really hot. Like this morning I woke up at 6 and then I was starting my walk at about 7 a.m. and that worked because then I still got my shower done and I was still like ready to sit down and start working on stuff by about 9-ish. I let myself slow down and like have a breakfast and stuff, but like if it was the school year, like I was could have still been ready to like work by 9. So yeah, I might at least for like this week, maybe, I don't know, at least a couple days, I might let myself just sleep just a little bit longer. Because like I did get, according to my watch, I did get a full 8 hours of sleep last night. That has not been the normal for me. So I think I needed it. I needed it. But I'm still yawning a lot today. I'm still very, very sleepy. So I don't want to take a nap. It's like it's too late now to take a nap, so I don't want to take a nap. But I don't want to be working at my desk all afternoon until like 5 or 6 o'clock. So I think I want to stop by around 4 and then go sit and read for a little bit, or try to read. I have been struggling to read. I've been struggling with reading, but I've also been struggling with like watching stuff. Like I think it's just because my brain is so tired. So I'm struggling to read, but also I'm having difficulty getting into like scripted TV shows. And so if someone hasn't released a vlog that I really want to watch, then like when there's vlogs from my subscriptions that are new and that I want to watch, then I watch those. But if there isn't something in my subscription feed waiting to be watched, then I'm just watching all kinds of random stuff, and most of it really isn't doing anything for me. I need to go in, I don't know how to do this on my TV, but I need to go into YouTube on my laptop and just start hiding certain channels. I keep getting recommended stuff, and I've watched some of it, which means it continues to get recommended, but I keep getting a lot of booktube channels and like book commentary and author commentary type video essays, and it's just a lot of drama. It's just a lot of drama, and I'm not interested. I really, like, we know the publishing industry is problematic. I don't need to see a million deep dives over, I can't believe this person got a publishing deal. If you know, you know. But like, I just find that a lot of what's getting recommended to me from like the book community, it's a lot of the same stuff. And I was happy to watch one video on that topic, but now the algorithm is like giving me a million videos on these topics, and I'm just not interested. And I'm just trying to find other like cozy writing vlogs or cozy reading vlogs. I am aware when drama occurs, whether it's big drama or little drama. I hear about it, either through social media or through my friends who are talking about it. Like, I'm aware. So I am fine with like actively seeking out that information to like educate myself on that. I don't need the algorithm to keep dumping it on me. And so, yeah, it's just making it hard to even then find stuff to watch on YouTube, because like I'm not interested in half of what YouTube is recommending. And so if there isn't someone in my subscription feed with a new video, then I'm at a bit of loose ends. So I'm just struggling with, I mean, when am I not struggling? But I'm just struggling to read. Like, my brain is not focusing very well. I don't want to call it a reading slump. I'm not in a reading slump. I'm just not reading a lot at the moment, which I guess is a reading slump, but I don't want to call it that. But like, I was like, how many times can I say the word struggling? I'm gonna try to stop, I promise. I was reading Daisy Dunn's The Missing Thread, and I'm really loving it, but it is a bit slow. It's very densely packed with amazing historical information, and I think it's a book that I'm better off reading like one chapter at a time and not trying to like read several chapters in one day. It's not a book to binge. I feel like Shakespeare's Sisters was a little bit more binge-worthy. The Missing Thread, like as history books, The Missing Thread is just a little bit more slower paced, but still really, really fascinating. So I'm not going to DNF it. I am going to finish it, but I think telling myself I can't read anything else until I finish that book is not a good idea. But like, I picked up a really lighthearted rom-com, and it was probably too late in the evening last night to read it, but I was struggling to read it. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with me in reading. It'll switch, it'll change. I'll get back to reading eventually, but for now, it's a bit frustrating. I want to read, but I don't want to read. But then I'm not finding stuff, like there's just no TV shows that I'm really interested in. I watched all of Doctor Who, and that was really good, but I just haven't found anything else like that I'm like really invested in. I started watching another new series. I got 2 episodes in. Third episode starts interesting. I really liked the first season, but the second season just isn't really grabbing me. So yeah, I'm gonna put that on pause for a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. This is just a long ramble to say that my brain is just not in a very happy place as far as like reading and watching TV and watching movies. I'm gonna give the book I started reading yesterday a try, but maybe I need a thriller or something. I just feel like I need something that is a bit more fast-paced and like that really sucks me in. So I do have a couple thrillers on my stack. So maybe I'll jump to one of those and just see if that makes a difference. Anyway, long ramble short, I feel like I've probably gone in and out of focus a couple times there. I need to figure something out with the lighting situation. This might just be the year that I don't leave the blackout curtains up 24/7. I might just start taking them down every now and then during the day. I'm struggling with that as well. How many times can I say the word struggling in just this one segment? I'm so sorry, but I am having difficulty. this summer with the blackout curtains that I don't remember feeling quite this way. It's been getting so dark. And I don't like the sun, but I also don't like being in a cave. And so, I don't know, it's very cozy in here, but it is starting to do my head in a bit as far as like vlogging and lighting and all of that is concerned. The thought of having these blackout curtains up 24/7 until September, I'm gonna have to figure something out. I just am, because I don't think this is going to work. And it's not worth talking about right now. I need to edit this vlog and get that done, and then we'll do some writing and try to put my brain back in a happy place, because it's enjoying writing at the moment. And I did get some more beta feedback, and yeah, I've got some stuff to do with Independent Hearts, but nothing terrifying. It's all exciting. It's all good. So yeah, anyway, oh my gosh, I'm getting so distracted and I'm rambling and I'm sorry, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna edit this vlog. I need to put my glasses back on because I can't see if I'm blurry or not. So I'm gonna edit this vlog and then we'll do some writing and just continue on with Sunday. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. Okay, I am so tired, and it's nearly 5 o'clock. I did not mean to do this. I have not written 3,000 words again, but I was just finishing writing, and it was like 4:15, I think, and then my sister called me. So I've been talking to my sister on FaceTime, but writing has gone well. I've finished chapter 3. I have started chapter 4, and I have finished the first like scene of chapter 4, and I'm on to the next scene of chapter 4, and I managed to write 1,414 words. So Across the Pond 5 is now up to 32,975 words. I have set some targets for this project now. I have a deadline, a tentative deadline of October 15th. That is a little bit ambitious. At the very least, I would like to be finishing the first draft by the end of the semester, which would be around like December 1st. That's the latest I would want to finish the first draft. But if I could finish the first draft around October 15th, I could then theoretically have like the first developmental edit pass done by the end of the semester, which that would be ideal. Like draft 1 done by October 15th, draft 2 done by like the first week of December, maybe have a third draft done by the end of winter break, and be almost done with developmental edits, like be sending out a beta draft by around the middle of January, and then theoretically by my birthday having developmental edits done. Like that would be an ideal situation, because then I could definitely get copy editing, formatting, proofreading, all of that done for this book by the end of the spring semester, which is what I'm hoping for. October 15th is probably a bit ambitious. I'm gonna leave it there for now. I've also told Scrivener 3 days a week for writing. So if I can write for 3 days a week, and it's telling me 1,200 words for each of those 3 days, then I would get to 100 words by October 15th. So it's slightly ambitious, but not that ambitious. And like today, I've done a couple hundred words over that goal. So if I can get 2 more writing sessions throughout the week, technically it's Sunday. I've told Scrivener I'm writing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so we'll just see what happens tomorrow. But if I might skip writing in it tomorrow and then do some writing on Wednesday and Friday. I've just given it 3 days. It doesn't have to be those 3 days. 1,200 words came pretty easily today, so I think that's a decent amount of words, especially for the summer, when I'm not balancing teaching work and stuff. If it was the semester, I'd be probably keeping that closer to like 1,000. So the more words I can write during the summer, the more that daily goal will come down by mid-August when I'm starting to teach again. So it's all good. I've really enjoyed what I was working on, but I'm tired. I'm so tired. I've had a really good time working on the book, working on Across the Pond 5. I was talking about it earlier on the call I was on with my friend. So we were talking about the project and I was giving her some details. So I'm excited to, I'm loving working on Across the Pond right now. I think because I just so desperately want to be in London right now, and I can't be in London right now, so writing a book set in London is kind of the next best thing. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I love the main character of book 5. I'm having a really fun time writing that character. I will tell you more about the character probably when the first draft is done, so I'll try not to tease too much. Although some people might be able to start like narrowing it down and guessing who book 5 is going to be about. But like the main character is very different from Eleanor and Celeste in the first 4 books. I'm really enjoying writing her, and I'm really enjoying writing the main male character of this one. He's very different from the other men I've written in this series, and I'm loving that so many of the scenes are in the city of London and like that specific part of London. I'm having a lot of fun writing like the London scenes and incorporating areas and parts of London that I have wanted to get in a book for a while now, but it just hasn't quite fit in any of the other stories. Because, you know, all of Eleanor's books, there were things that like I really wanted, like areas that I wanted her to go in and visit and like make her own. And Celeste has her like neighborhood and places that she hangs out, and like that was important. And like you can't put all of London into one book. And so it's one of the things I love about this series is each book after the next I get to incorporate more and more of my favorite places in London into the book. So I'm really having a good time with that. But then yeah, the story of these two I'm just really enjoying, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun working on it. I love working on Independent Hearts while I'm working on that. And I love working with Kate and Lydia and Molly and Elise and Bryn and all of that whole crew. And the grannies. I love writing scenes with the grannies. So like I love working on Independent Hearts. But when I'm working on Independent Hearts, I find that I miss Across the Pond. And when I'm really heavy and like full on in Across the Pond mode, I miss Olsenburg and I miss the characters from Independent Hearts. And so I'm finding that it is important that I write, that I'm working on both at the same time, even if one is the main project and the other is more of like a secondary side project. And maybe I'm only working on the secondary project 1 or 2 days a week instead of every day. Like I still need that. I need that a lot. But I know the challenge this week and next week and the week after, like while I'm finishing up developmental edits on Independent Hearts 4, the challenge is going to be to make sure that stays the priority and not be distracted by shiny object, shiny new toy syndrome, where Across the Pond 5 is like the new project. It's different and it's still in draft 1 phase, and like that's my favorite phase. So like it'd be very easy. It's why I'm not allowed to work on any of my other projects until the tasks for the day for Independent Hearts 4 are done. So like once I've put in my time for the day working on Independent Hearts 4, then I can work on writing something else. But I can't start with something else and then hope that I still have energy and brain capacity later. And I'm definitely feeling tired. I'm feeling really tired. Like, it's Sunday. I should not be working quite this much on Sunday, but it'll be fine. And tomorrow will be fine. I've got my task list. I haven't overplanned it. What I have scheduled for tomorrow, I can get that done. I do have a call I have to be on in the morning, but I still think after that call, I will still have plenty of time to work on editing for an hour and then Patreon writing and a couple other smaller tasks and starting to edit this vlog. And then Tuesday, it'll be the same thing. Tuesday, I won't have a call, so I'll have more time to do some vlog editing and work on other stuff. So it'll be fine. It'll all be fine. But for now, I wanted to write. I really wanted to read. I just don't know that I have it in me to read. It's 5 o'clock, so I don't think I will read. I really just want to go crash on the couch. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go crash on the couch. I'm going to go start watching some of the Sunday vlogs that have been uploaded on my Sunday videos. Tomorrow's vlog, my vlog for tomorrow, is uploaded and everything is done for that, so that's good. So yeah, Sunday evening, Sunday day has been lovely. Sunday evening is about to commence and it's going to be super relaxing. Okay, it is 6:30. I have just had to pop out to the mailbox and my parcel lockers. So I figured while I am standing, let's just wrap this vlog up and I can show you what I got from my parcel lockers. So I had 2 books arrive. Both are to help me with the next stage of all of this. So I picked up the Chicago Guide to Copy Editing Fiction by Amy J. Schneider. So I'm curious how this one is going to be. I could see the table of contents. So it looks like it covers the fiction copy editor's mindset, the fiction copy editor's workflow, building your fiction style sheet, general style, characters, places, timeline, editorial issues specific to fiction, grammar and usage in fiction, copy editing dialogue, and when fact and fiction collide. And then there's some appendices, there's style sheet templates, file management, and multiple monitors. So I just thought this would be interesting. I'm not sure this will have as much of like, I was curious about the grammar section. I don't know that this is going to have much like grammar rules, but it looks like it's covering things like verb tense, point of view, comma splices a little bit. The grammar is what I am hoping to find, but I do think that this will still help me create a list of things I need to be on the lookout for. Things like alliteration, assonance, rhyme, and echo, garden path sentences. I've never heard of those. Pet phrases. I do need to be aware of pet phrases. So they say, is everyone shoving their hands through their hair or into their pockets? I tend to, characters tend to sink into chairs or drop into chairs a little too frequently. So that was something I noticed when I was copy editing for Everlove London. I know I've got pet phrases that I just have to be on the lookout for. So yeah, I think there will be some good stuff in here, but it might not cover everything that I was hoping. But that's why I got this book, which is The Best Punctuation Book, period, by June Casagrande. So this one I'm hoping will help with the stuff that I am, punctuation, particularly commas, are what I am less comfortable with. I just feel like there are so many comma rules and I just forget a lot of them. So here we go. We've got a whole chapter just on the comma. So yeah, I'm hoping that will help. And then it looks like it's kind of, there's like tabs. Like it's not tabbed, but there are like, there's shading on some of the pages. And so you can kind of see it has a comma. And so you can see all the pages that are focused on the comma, the period or the full stop, colon, quotation marks, double quotation and single quotation marks, question mark, ellipses, ellipsis, hyphen, a lot of pages for hyphen, em dash, en dash, parentheses, bracket, just a couple pages on the bracket, slash and backslash, lists, hashtag, or numbers and addresses. And they've got the pound sign or the hashtag sign for that. But then it looks like we have a section, punctuation A to Z. It looks like this section has just a bunch of different things broken up into alphabetical order. So that'll be interesting. I'm hoping that this will just be a good brush up for basic punctuation and that will help. That's the kind of thing, like comma rules, I just need to memorize. I just need to learn them because I need to be able to recognize and spot it in my own writing and not be so reliant on computer programs and stuff. Yeah, these will be books that I will be flipping through and reading as much as I can between now and when I start copy editing. And then I think this one will be really good to have just on hand as a reference by my side. And if I'm going to be wearing out the comma section, I'm definitely going to try to like read the comma section. That chapter is one of the longer ones because there's so many damn rules for commas. So yeah, we'll just see. Because I do get really nerdy about this sort of thing. I'm not a grammar expert. I always say I'm a rhetorician, not a grammarician. I studied rhetoric, I did not study grammar. Those two things are two very different things. And just because you have a PhD in English, it does not mean you're an expert in grammar. That's kind of the running joke in the English department, that we feel like whenever someone finds out we're an English teacher, I know the linguistics people struggle with this as well. Whenever someone finds out that they're a linguistics professor or scholar, that, you know, the common reaction is, oh my gosh, I better watch my grammar around you. And it's like, if you only realized that rhetoric people and linguistic people, we don't really care about grammar. I mean, we do to a certain extent, but it's more, we're going to be more fascinated about why you make certain grammatical choices and why you speak the way that you do and what that tells us about the grammatic structure of the region that you're from or whatever, because there is no one English grammar. American English is different from British English, and there are slightly different grammatical structures and rules between just American and British English. But then even within American English, or also I'm sure it's also within British English, there's so many different dialects and variances and regional differences, and what is grammatically correct in standard American English might not be the grammatical norm of Appalachia or Chicago or Boston or the Pacific Northwest. Like, there's little subtle and sometimes not so subtle differences between different regions and whatnot, and it doesn't make it wrong. Ultimately, grammar, like this is the hill I will die on. Ultimately, grammar is just the structure and rules of the language of a certain region or a certain group of people. And so the grammar of the American South is going to be a little bit different from the grammar of the Midwest or New England, and it's all going to be very different from the grammar of British English. It doesn't make it wrong, it just makes it different. But in publishing, we follow standard, typically, like in the US, it's going to be standard American English, British publications published by a British publisher, they are going to follow standard British English. And if they then publish that same book in the US, then the US editions will follow standard American English. There is a standard that the publishing industry uses, but standard English is not the only correct English, if that makes sense. That being said, when you have a missing comma or a word is spelled wrong or you're using the wrong form of a word, so there, your versus your, you know, in those cases there is a clear kind of right or wrong answer, and using the wrong form will be a typo, or using form versus from, if you inverse those two letters you get a completely different word. That's a mistake. But I find that, I don't know, I guess as someone who just really doesn't care that much about grammar and who, like, when I'm reading, as long as I can tell what the author means, even if it's a typo, I will pretty much ignore it as long as the original meaning is clear. But also when it comes to, like, I know I've had people claim to find typos in A Brave Start, and there are some actual typos in there. I don't deny that. But I've also had people send me screenshots of what they think are typos, and it's actually the northern slang that Jack uses. So it's not a typo. It's just not common in standard American or standard British English. And I don't know, I wish people would stop kind of thinking that their perfect use of grammar is what makes them a good human being or something. I just feel like some people get really worked up about grammar, and maybe they shouldn't be. And maybe I'm just making all of this one giant insecurity on my part, and I need to let it go. But I am always trying to be better, so hopefully these books will help. But with that, I'm gonna wrap this vlog up here. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I really appreciate both of those things. Say hi in the comments. You can leave me some book emojis for the new books that I got, or some like planner and calendar emojis for all of the planning that I did. Our question of the vlog: what is like 1 or 2 of your goals for June? I think my biggest goal is definitely to finish the developmental edits on Independent Hearts 4. I also would really like to write, I think, let's say 10,000 words, at least 10,000 words in Across the Pond 5. I just feel like if I can keep making, like, I will just feel so much better when I move on full time to that project if that project is already like a good way going. So yeah, let me know 1 or 2 goals that you have for June. I would love to hear those in the comments down below. On your way down to the comments, click that like button, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Click to open the description box. You will find links to all of my things down there: Patreon, newsletter, all of my books, all of that good stuff. And then yeah, I will meet you all down in the comments and chat about June goals and plans down there. And I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye!